Good evening, everyone. Good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from anywhere in the world you can hear us. Yes, it is 10 over 10. KodeHauz is 10 and we are celebrating this. Yes. So welcome. Today is our third webinar series in the 10 webinar that we have. Is anyone excited? Is anyone excited? It is
Hello, Mola, you're breaking. Oh,
10 webinars for 10 weeks. And there is one.
all right. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to be taking over from my colleague, who is Imolayo, who is also a part of the moderators for this webinar series. She's currently having network issues, so I'm going to be stepping in. Please, if you're in the chat, confirm that you can hear me by posting your favorite emoji. All right. Thank you very much, Judith. Thank you, Chiamaka. Thank you, Gideon. Let's keep those emojis coming. Ayomide, I can see you. Kizito, thank you. So that means that we can all hear ourselves. So it's been a wonderful time so far with the KodeHauz at 10 webinar series. This is webinar number 3. So we're still going to do something else. So if you were present for webinar number 1 and you were present for webinar number 2, please signify in the chat. And we're going to do something really fun right now. Okay, we're going to do something really fun. So if you were present for webinar number 1, please write the topic of webinar number 1 in the chat. Let's see who is going to come first. Is it that we have forgotten the topic, or that there's nobody here that was president for webinar number 1? Fortune is typing webinar number one. What's the topic of webinar number one? Then someone else give me the topic for webinar number two. That was just the last concluded webinar. Let's see how many people have been paying attention. I'm just seeing webinar number 1, 2, 3. What was correct? Gideon, in fact, you were present. Gideon, that's webinar number 2. Okay, a round of applause for Gideon. That means he was present and paying attention. So, who is going to drop the webinar topic for webinar number 1? Mommy. I'm waiting for webinar number 1 topic. Oh. One person writes multimodal. Multimodal, wow. Okay. Building multimodal rack systems. Okay. All right. So we were all present. That is Judith, you say let me go and spy. Who are you spying from? Judith, are you CIA? All right, thank you very much, which means that we have been paying attention. So today also promises to be yet another exciting and insightful time. So before we start, I'm just going to give a brief of why we are gathered here. So KodeHauz is 10. So please, it is not easy. It is not, according to I'm going to borrow the phrase from our last speaker, Engineer Hanson Johnson. It is not 10 days. It is not 10 months. It is not 10 hours. It is 10 years. 2016 to 2026. So please go to the chat section and type congratulations to KodeHauz. It has been a wonderful journey. I want to see your favorite emojis. Please celebrate KodeHauz. 10 years is not easy, right? So as part of our celebration for the 10-year anniversary, we have this 10 webinar series, which signifies the 10 years, okay? So for each Saturday, each webinar represents 1 year, all right? Thank you very much, Judith, for congratulating us. We appreciate it. So the webinar series is going to be running, and we also have a lot of other activities that are lined up also to celebrate KodeHauz at 10. We also currently have the KodeHauz Holiday Tech Camp that is ongoing. It is both on site and online. So we are going to be showcasing or dropping the link, right? If your words have not registered, please register. Tell your neighbor to register, even your enemy. Register your enemy. Let us all build ourselves. Let us all build the tech ecosystem. So today we have a powerful presenter in our midst. She's a powerhouse. All right. We've had males for the first and second. Today we're going to be hearing from a female because in KodeHauz we believe in gender equality. So before she takes the mic, I'm going to be reading a brief citation on our speaker. Okay, so Amanda Etuk is an entrepreneur, ecosystem builder, and business leader with experience spanning logistics, supply chain, healthcare, biotechnology, and entrepreneurship in Nigeria. She currently serves as program director at Cascador Nigeria, a leadership and venture building program supporting high growth. Supporting high growth Nigerian entrepreneurs. Sorry, my network is breaking. In this role, she focuses on program design, alumni support, and strengthening the entrepreneur ecosystem. Amanda is also the co-founder of Messenger, a logistics and financing platform for last mile delivery operators. Her experience as founder gives her a practical understanding of the challenges entrepreneurs face while building and scaling businesses. Prior to her entrepreneurial journey, Amanda held senior roles across healthcare, logistics, and biotechnology, including serving as director of supply chain at 54 Gene, where she contributed to building infrastructure for large-scale genomics research in Africa. A pharmacist by training, Amanda holds a Bachelor of Pharmacy from the University of Lagos and a master's degree in global supply chain and logistics management from the University of Sussex. Passionate about building resilient businesses and a stronger entrepreneurial ecosystem, Amanda brings together her experience as an operator, founder, and ecosystem leader to help entrepreneurs build sustainable and impactful businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, if your hands are not too busy, please, with your favorite emoji, welcome our speaker for today, Amanda Etuk. Ma'am, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations to the entire KodeHauz team at 10. One of my favorite hubs in Akwa Ibom. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the full house here today. I'm going to try and keep this presentation as engaging as possible. Yeah, so I see that I can share my screen now. So thank you for that. I would be presenting on the topic. This is a very interesting topic for us because if you know anything about AI, it's been met with a lot of concerns, from admiration to fear to what are we going to do? Are we going to lose our jobs? So there's a lot of talk about AI in this space. So let me see. Let me know if you can see my screen, and particularly if you can see the presentation itself. If you can,
Yes, I can see your screen.
okay, let me see. I'm trying to make sure that I'm seeing both at the same time. So just give me a second to properly do this. Yeah. Okay. Guys, still sorry. I'm just struggling with this a bit. Let me make this maximum on my screen. Okay. Yes. No, this is not as good as I want it to be. Sorry, give me a few seconds. I'll put this in slideshow mode. Yeah. Are we good or not yet? If not, can somebody share on my behalf? Because I think that I'm not sharing the right screen.
It was showing prior to this time. We could see prior to this time, but I think it went
Let me
off
try
again.
again. Let me
Your
try
presentation.
again. Okay. Give me a second. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. How are we now?
We're good.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm really looking forward to getting into this conversation. I might not be able to see your chats immediately, but let's feel free. Ihechi, please feel free to stop me at any point in time if the person comments in the chat box so we can talk about it. So we have some time this
All right.
evening, and what we're really going to talk about is just really, you've seen the topic. It's scaling businesses with AI-driven research and insights. So it's really how founders, I'm talking business people, sometimes we use the word interchangeably about entrepreneurs, business people call them founders, and operators. So why it's not just focused on entrepreneurs alone is that you might find yourself working within an organization, and that's what I've labeled as operators, and how you can use AI genuinely as a partner, and then the things you can use AI for that add to your productivity and the general well-being or even profitability of the business. So I will keep this as simple as possible just so that we can follow on throughout the duration of the presentation. So what is important? Why does this matter now? It's almost hard to attend any program, any forum where you are not discussing AI. Again, another thing to just bring forward is that there is honestly nothing new under the sun. Today, we're talking about AI. I think a few years ago, we talked about Web3. Before then, it was even something as simple as the internet, that was where people had so many fears, so many concerns about what it could impact on humanity and on the generation at the time. Even something as simple as television was something that people argued about in recent times. Then we'll talk about the old ways versus the new AI augmented way. And then really like the layers of AI driven research. And then just a few case studies for us to see how practical this could be for our current day reality. So first of all, why is it important now? Before I even go into, everybody knows why this AI has become the most important thing. It's more even in the business sense of things, and even as a working professional within your organization. Now, number one, mistakes are costlier. Now we are in a position of scarce economic benefits, meaning that financing is scarce, monies are scarce, resources are drying up, new resources are becoming more valued than older ones. So we're in a cash constrained society. And then that it might be strange to say that when we're surrounded by so much largesse or people talking about how they're making up so much money from so many different things, but those are the outliers. When it comes to most societies, most people are losing their jobs, most people are going through unemployment, underemployment, or basically cannot afford the things that they could simply afford a few years ago. So every decision that a business person, an entrepreneur, or even you as an operator has to make has to be the right one. Being correct about something has become more important now than it was before. The amount of times or the will I say the leniency for failure is slimmer. Again, markets are moving very quickly. A few years ago, it used to take some time before the iPhone 14 will come out, before the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 16 will come out, but it's very different now. Things are moving fast. You don't even, now it's not quarterly goals. You have almost weekly milestones for things. Almost everyone expects immediate results. And then that means risk is also mispriced, meaning that every time you make a decision, you are foregoing another alternative to go with that decision you've made. So meaning that you need to make the right thing and then pricing your risk into something, saying if I do A versus if I do B, what is really the success? How can I look at this? So those are some of the things that are becoming trickier now. Again, I recently was in an argument where people were saying that is AI replacing our brain capacity. That's something that I found that a lot of people today are arguing, really arguing about. Is AI replacing us? What's going on? Are we now second-class citizens to AI? So that's another issue that is happening right now, and then one of the problems that we're experiencing today. So I want to just first start with an opening argument about AI, that AI does not replace judgment. All it does is that it reduces the time between you learning a skill being necessary, and then the outcome or the output of that skill. Again, I'm speaking to people at KodeHauz where you've learned a lot of skills, you've learned a lot of things, and there might be a fear that would AI replace me? But the truth is that AI will not replace you, but it also compresses the time. It democratizes the information or even the skill, even the talent of what's necessary. You hear a lot of people are vibe coding now. So again, how do we now bring that AI value plus the human intelligence that you already have to make businesses? Stop doing. I'm serious now. Calm down now. Moderator, there's some background noise. I don't know if everyone can still hear me.
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you. Please go ahead. I'm sorry, but we've fixed that. You can go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So just first talking about technology and how it has advanced through the years, and now we're all talking about AI, and there's a lot of
Yes, we
hype.
can hear you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So we're all talking about AI right now. We're talking about what it means for us. But I want to let you know that this is not the first time a new innovation or new technology is coming to the world. So starting with writing, would you believe that there was such a time that people were afraid when writing and letters were being discovered? Something as simple as letter writing or people just saying ABCD was something that caused fear and panic around the world. And then even the wise people like Socrates were afraid that when people started writing things down, it means that they will forget. I'm just trying to tell you how now in 2000 years after, it seems almost ridiculous that somebody thought this about writing of all things that we use that is the basis of almost everything and knowledge. And what happened is that that's the foundation of everything else. From as basic as having the letters to even having the code and even having the AI output today is from something as simple as the letters, the alphabets, the numbers that were developed centuries and thousands of years ago. Another fear that people had before now was when people were talking about the printing press. The printing press, at the time it came out, the people who were the most afraid of it was the church. The church felt that people would start to spread unvetted ideas because at the time, a lot of manuscripts were written by hand by scholars. So for anything to have gone into writing, a lot of renowned scholars would have taken their time to write it, would have gotten a stamp from maybe one of the very old churches or some Latin groups for this to be allowed in public. But a printing press, again, changed all of that. And what did it do? It allowed mass literacy. So people could then, it wasn't just the elites that could then read and write because that was a sign of nobility. I'm sure a lot of us watch a lot of period dramas and things like Game of Thrones are very popular. Writing, reading was something for the elite, and printing press made literacy a mass product. Now the whole world is a sign of even being a learned person, being able to read and write. Again, calculators. Some of us were young enough and old enough to know when scientific calculators came out, people were worried. Are people going to take it into the exam halls? Is it going to help people start to cheat? And again, we now see that people that actually can use their calculators outperform those who couldn't. Then again, we've come to the internet. Something as simple as the internet. People say, oh, the only things that are going to happen on the internet are very unserious things. Some of the fears have come to pass. But I would say that it allowed us to be able to collaborate. Because of the internet, I could be here in my home in Lagos and be able to speak to you all the way wherever you are today. So the internet has created opportunities for collaboration, expanded our access, and even knowledge. Then now our question for today is really about AI research tools. The problem that a lot of people are, the fears that people have is that it will do the thinking for us, it will dull our judgment, and it may be cases of people where people have gone to learn how to code and spent a lot of money learning things. People feel like it will take jobs from them or it will not be as great. Again, we're at a crux and a pivotal time in history where we'll determine how AI will really help or support us or how it will be to our detriment. So I would say that based on history, every tool has been feared and there's always been a threat to everything, but it then depends on how we deliberately use these research tools, these AI tools, and the resources that are at our fingertips today. Again, it is how we then use it. As much as AI is taking over jobs. Some people are becoming prompt engineers. Some people's output with AI has tripled, has turbocharged their performance even during their work today. So now, let me now bring you back to the topic of today, which is in the context of businesses and how founders or even operators, people like you and I who work for organizations, how we can use this AI today and what it's doing for us. So before now, if you follow any founder activities, if you watch a lot of demo days and pitch day events, people always have what they call a pitch deck. People have a business plan. And before now, you can see it took days and days and weeks to put together a business plan. Experts had to be hired to have accurate data and information. But now, with AI, you can be able to immediately search the market sizing of a particular city or any place that you're trying to explore. That's one very important thing that AI is able to do in the business world, especially when you say, how do I now look at the feasibility of a business? If a business is viable, how do I even find that very quickly with AI? What can I do? So the market sizing, again, a very real life example of this is that in running my business messenger, we were exploring, okay, what other cities can we expand to? What can we do? Where is a great place to go beyond Abuja? And for us, that meant traveling down to a particular place to say, oh, let's even speak to the people, see how things move, what are the commerce, what is the opportunity in that place. And that cost us travel, lodging, a lot of other things. And guess what? Now, with the various AI models that you have, we're basically just doing an AI or a tool search for that information. Now, another one that is very important, and I like to push to everyone who is starting a business or running a business, is that you need to speak to your customers. Sometimes, a lot of us, our intuition or our gut is what rules the business strategy that we put forward. Is because, oh, I think that I slept and I woke up and I think that this is a great idea for a new product line we should push. This is what we should do. And immediately that becomes gospel. What we've realized with time is that it is not gospel. We need to speak to our customers to see what is really viable, what should be done, what should we be pushing forward. So now things like customer feedback. Before you had to call every single one of your customers. Sometimes you go have Zoom meetings. After the Zoom meeting, somebody is there taking notes to say, oh, this is what was said, this is what was said in that time. And instead, you can now have AI transcribe that meeting, transcribe the calls you have, and be able to create a database almost immediately for the purpose alone. Now, for people like me that might not even like financial models, AI is able to help us. Even if you upload your statements today, even you as a layperson, upload your statements and ask for AI to analyze your financials in terms of when is the money coming in, how do we do this? And you will see that AI is able to do that in record time. And that's information that you need to use to succeed and to run your business. So I'm going to pause here. Has anybody used AI for any of these things that I have discussed, just top level? If you've used it for anything, please let me know how it has been beneficial to you. What are you currently using AI for? So anyone willing to share? I would love to hear from you.
Okay, so if you want to share, please just raise your hands and I will call you so that we don't make it rowdy.
Okay, I see we have Fortune.
Fortune, please go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Thank you for
Fortune.
this. Thank you for this, Amanda. I would like to say that I've been able to use AI for completing coding projects at my workplace. I've also used it for generating PowerPoint presentation slides, which I used for tutoring and also for doing research with Notebook. There's now Gemini Notebook. So Gemini Notebook and what else? For brainstorming ideas and trying to organize my briefs, proposals, or documents.
Thank you for sharing. There was somebody else I wanted to share.
Uh, Amma, you can go ahead. Your hands are up. Amma, can you hear me? You can go ahead. Your hand is up.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Sorry, my network is quite poor. So I'll say I use AI to convert my ideas into products, basically. Like whatever I have in my head, I just fine tune it using AI. I also use it to complete my coding and build websites, and it literally just helps my job becomes better and basically makes life easier. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I think one more person before we move on. Hi, Lawrence.
Angela Lawrence, over to you.
Why are you laughing?
We're wondering why our teacher has joined the call, but no problem. Let's hear from let's hear from Lawrence.
Okay, so thank you very much, Amanda. To kind of In fact, let me just. I think the question itself is, what am I not using AI for? It's
Exactly.
like um. Okay, yes, I teach AI for application and tools right now, and I tell like my students that the objective is to show a little of what AI can do. Then their own task or objective is to now explore what they can make AI do. So I'm not going to teach everything. So let me just go to this that class right now. Before now, I would develop a curriculum. Okay, not me. Generally, if you go to Coursera, there's a curriculum. You just take the course and everything. AI has helped me. If you ask anybody in that, we have divided the class. it was okay. First of all, I shared the Google form. Everybody filled how they got to know about the course and what they do and what their expectation. So I use AI now. That class, I don't give everybody the same task. It was impossible, right? Before now, I would just give you curriculum. Everybody would do the same test. You go to stage two, everybody do the same. But now, it is customized for each group. That it was able to extract eight groups of students. With based on, it was able to kind of classify their various interests. Now, each task, it is now tailored to. So there are other things, but this one is actually very unique, but because it is basically impossible. You understand? Before now, I would have put everybody, take the curriculum, teach the same thing, give the same task, and it goes on and on and on. So this one is just kind of very unique, Sha. The other thing, but I think I'll hang it here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. So there's something that I hadn't talked about here is what AI has been able to achieve is personalization. So I would say that even if everybody had this same topic to present on this class to say, okay, you know what, you guys give me a presentation on AI for business research, your presentation is not going to be same as mine. Because one thing that AI has done that has been different from maybe an ad hoc Google search is being able to personalize and have a library of your own knowledge that can make things more succinct, more in your voice, more to what is relevant for you. So in this case, I'm trying to break down exactly why you shouldn't be so afraid of AI, or even be and even be also be conscious of the mass market appeal of AI and how to fight against that, because that's something that I've not covered in the text of here, but it's something we should be very careful of. So the 4 layers for AI driven research for your business. Market intelligence is very important. I've mentioned how you can pressure test the size of a market. If you move into a business, what is the capacity of the people in that city to be able to pay for the product? Those are things that you should go through with AI. So don't use AI as a simple Google search box. Ask more technical questions, ask things that would require data, things that would be grounded in intelligence. Again, you have these conversations like you and I are having right now, and I suspect that this conversation is also recorded. So you can also use AI to say what, not just the transcript, everybody's using meeting transcripts, but again, if you use certain AI tools, you can tell when the engagement points are higher, and that helps you tailor what would appeal to your audience if you decide to post this, if you decide to share this at any point in time. So yes, everybody is using recording tools, but if you then want to market this product or this class afterwards, is that you encourage feedback and engagement during this class, see what resonates the most, and use the AI to then draft things around this. It's also something that Lawrence alluded to in having a personal curriculum per person. But then again, if you want to sell to a large audience, how do you know if you are even also going so detailed to be personalized? How do you know what will grab the most people per time? So financial diligence, a lot of Nigerians, we know how to make money. Keeping it can be another struggle. So looking at the numbers, identifying the patterns, being able to spot opportunity is something that you need to do. Or even if somebody sends you a business opportunity, I can say that what people don't tell the most is that the fastest way to go bankrupt is to invest in an untested business. I'm sure a lot of us will have stories of one uncle, one auntie, or one of those somebody that has gone broke by investing in business. So imagine being able to pressure test a business proposal that comes your way. Another thing to be very careful about with AI is very affirming. What do I mean by AI is affirming? Have you noticed that your AI never tells you that you've done something wrong? If you've had a prompt where AI has told you point blank in straight language that something is wrong, please put up your hand. Let's even talk about it. So this is a peril of using AI. It will always be at the par of your basic intelligence. Let's face it. So if you want to abdicate your learning and your responsibilities to AI and say, okay, I'm using AI for this, your output is still relatively compared to your personal human intelligence. Your output, everyone using AI, some people's results are 100 times better. And that's because of the contextual knowledge that they have. So even if you are watching your competitors putting things through AI, what do you as a person know? What can you use to track and say, oh no, AI refine this or refine that? It is the knowledge that you have. So I've seen some hands up. Let's talk about it a bit more.
Okay, so I think we have Olalekan Peter, and we have Barika, and we have Fortune. So we'll just take it in that order. So Peter, over to you when you're done. Tudor, you take over, and after Tudor, then we have Fortune. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ma. I just have a questions that I want to ask. So, my question is that is there any business that we cannot implement AI? So that's the question that I have. For instance, so let's talk about like in a car business now for someone selling cars or repairing cars or inspections or doing any sort of things about cars for implementing.
Okay, so I'll answer you very quickly. So there's no business that cannot benefit from AI. So AI
Using
is, oh, so sorry.
AI.
I think you're
Thank you.
having network issues. I was saying that AI is an augmenter, really, in itself. It means that AI, regardless of how you use it, is not going to come and take over the running of the business for you. It will provide you with a series of facts for you to make a decision quicker. It would not make those decisions for you. So if you're in a car business and you want to start selling cars, for instance, and you want to make your first purchase of the type of cars you want to sell, for example, in the country, what AI can do for you or how AI can support you is to tell you what models of cars would be the fastest selling within your region. What kind of cars? If, for example, you don't need a prophet to tell you Nigerians don't really like white cars. White cars are cheaper. So there's certain, so AI is an augmenter. AI will give you the facts and the intelligence to make a decision. It will not take over the running of the business for you. Any business can be augmented with AI. There's some things that I still wish technology and artificial intelligence can do for us. Like, for example, I hate to iron. AI has not still come to come and iron my clothes for me. But if there was a laundry service that was coming to use AI to automate their pickups or their scheduling, that can still be done. So what we have on the screen, let me take one more person's comments before I move forward. I would, because this is a 30 minutes quick presentation, I'll still try to touch on most of my points, but let me hear from one more person. I would like the opportunity to engage.
Can you hear me? I don't know if I can talk.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sorry, I just want to chip in concerning what you mentioned earlier. You said AI is very affirmative and
Yes.
it tends to agree to anything you say. And yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But lately there are new models have been coming out that have been fixing this particular problem. Like I'm not trying to promote any model over any, but I work with Gemini and Claude, and I take and Claude is just for confirmation because I noticed Claude is more intelligent than Gemini. So I use these two models together to make sure what I am doing, I don't overdo or I don't just follow because of the confirmation that I'm getting from Gemini. So I try to use Claude to confirm, verify what I am doing, just to make sure everything is okay. So, like you said, it's actually true. It's very, very true that AI is it tends to agree to anything we tell it, but we just have to learn how to also make use of it despite all this. That's just what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a very valuable conversation. And again, why I bring up such a point is because you still need the intelligence and the context to know that, okay, this information I'm getting, this doesn't seem right. So this is the point where, as much as we have human intelligence and AI, the best solution is when you use both. So imagine if you gave up all your thinking and decision making to AI, then you wouldn't know that Gemini is even different from Claude, or Claude is different. So yes, that's a very strong observation. One other thing in terms of preference is knowing the tone for every interaction that you want to know. So another thing for heavy AI users, if you're drafting a lot of scripts with Gemini versus Claude, one very interesting thing that I've noticed personally is that Gemini sounds more like me than Claude. When a lot of people type, I see their emails and I said, this could be a 3-sentence email. So how, like, you see somebody's writing and you just say, this is AI. We have a lot of that, a lot of people using Claude and just coming back and pasting that. So again, you need to spend time. This is where people talk about prompt engineering, and I hope that the KodeHauz team would, maybe there's a lesson or a session on how to create better prompts, because I think that's one of the major examples in having a great AI output versus even a mediocre or subpar output. If you see now, the person who was saying which business cannot be done with AI, do you know that you watch some movies on YouTube today and you can tell that the person used AI for the scripts? If you've had such an experience, I'm so sorry. It's one of the worst things you can listen to. So again, we talk about human contextual understanding in how you use AI. So yeah, so I have like some case studies here about how you can use it for customer insights, because I feel like regardless, or even though I feel like a fact is that if you're running a business or if you're doing any form of economic activity where you intend to get money, an important way you can use AI is how you speak to your customer, you gather that data. So one thing that this has come up in the AI age is that people are very quick to produce and bring out products, technology, new ideas that are very untested. And I'm going to stress that one major thing that you have to do, as much as it's very easy to quickly bring out a new website, a new product, a new app with AI, is that instead, why not use that time to also speak to your customers and have real targeted action. Now we have a barrage of products online, we have a barrage of books that might not make sense, a barrage of things that have been created that were not created for anybody specific, but are just based on your understanding. So one major way I would want everyone to leave this session with is, how can I use AI to better serve my customers? So that's something that I want us to look at in detail. So if you don't leave this session with anything, is using AI for customer insights, people that will actually pay you. Another thing is, I wouldn't spend time on this as well, is that for every business, I notice that people spend so much time on busy work. What I call busy work, people are using AI to create the company name, company logo, company website, but they're not really trying to spend time understanding the numbers behind the business and how it makes sense. A lot of money could be coming into your account, but it's just an exercise in keeping busy or in infertility, because how are you really retaining your revenue? So I would say, if you don't use AI for anything, use it to understand your customers, use it to have real diligence on your numbers and how money is coming into any business that you are part of. I say it a lot of times that if you're very diligent in the work that you do, before a business that you're involved in, either as a founder or a staff, should start having issues, you should have the foresight. So this is another way to practically use AI to improve your station. So this is still about market intelligence. I'll give out the slides. It's just top level what you should be using AI for if you're trying to start a business. And I talked about them extensively at the beginning. So now back to what I'm pushing is that the best is not to use AI alone. The best is not to say, oh, I'm so smart, I'm a professor, I've done this for 20 years, and to shun AI. The best way is to use human and AI together rather than using either of them alone. So a great example about this is in an everyday setting that you and I and all of us might be used to. It is for those who play games online, especially chess. If you play chess, if you play solitaire, if you play any of those minefield games or any of those games on your phones or your laptops, it took cloning the work of, not the games of some of the masters to develop the capacity for AI and the machines to be able to play at that level. And what has happened now is that, yes, the machines are better than most humans, but the humans who also play with the machines have gotten better at even playing against each other. So that's what I want. The critical message I want to leave today is that it's not something to be afraid of, something to harness. It's something to use to expand on your own natural capabilities. Again, there's a lot of research, lots of works are being put out more than others, and we have more tangible research. Things are being discovered faster than before because AI is able to connect understanding and learnings across different geographies, across different research points, and making it easier for new discoveries to come out, new technology, and even just more output for those who really want to learn. Now, so one thing I would say that is your practical toolkit in using AI for life, for business, for whatever is learn how to ask better questions, and better questions come from a more informed mind. One thing I would say that we're all guilty of is that a lot of us have focused our life more on leisure than on meaningful work. I would say that one thing everyone should do now is to have a limit, a time limit on the social media, on the entertainment that they consume. Yes, you work to live, but you should also not have your mind and your consciousness filled with more frivolities than the actual things in life. A lot of people make a lot of jokes and say Nigerian youths like Big Brother, Nigerian youths like this, and Nigerian youths like that. But we cannot spend the time complaining where internally we are also doom scrolling on our phones. We should be engaging our minds in more activities, more productive things on how we can move our communities and societies forward. So one assignment, everyone, put a limit on your social media. Just put a limit. It doesn't stop you. You can put it off, but just be conscious of how much time you're spending on these platforms. Again, it will help you ask better questions, to help you communicate better as a leader, as an employee, as an employer, as someone who's providing value. It would help your vocabulary and things that you can do. Then, what I love most about Google and the workspaces is that you should have a standing prompts library. What does that do for you? So it helps you know what prompts have worked for other people. Some people have been able to develop prompts that help you analyze your finances better. So it is that prompt itself that improves the output for AI. So if you notice that a particular prompt or a particular instruction that you're giving to the AI has worked, please have a running Google Doc. You can have different tabs on topics, but the prompts that have been most valuable to you, please save them so that you can know what you're using per time. For example, if you lose any of your AI accounts and maybe you've been using Gemini, you have to switch to Claude, or another better one comes out, you have your prompt library that you can then use in another ecosystem. Then verify everything before you share. There's nothing I hate more than when somebody sends me a full AI report without reading it. My God, it's one of the worst things I've seen. So every time you get something from AI, please don't take it as gospel. Trace the source, read through it, read through it. And I know it sounds simple to say read, but please read through anything from AI before you submit it to your superior or even publish it outside. You're the one adding to part of the annoyance people are having with AI if you just publish whatever you see without trying to verify information. Yes. Again, you need to know how fast AI is able to churn things over does not mean you use it. It does not own the decision. If you publish something that is wrong because you use it from Claude that is super intelligent, you are the one to blame for putting false information out there in public. You are reducing your own credibility if you do that. You cannot replace relationships. So people are using AI for simple things as communicating with each other, even messages. That live relationship, AI cannot do that for you. People have started to date their AI. Please don't take it to that level where you cannot even have simple human interactions. You can fabricate very confidently. So again, that's why I say having even technical expertise that you can rely on to know even that something is wrong, you need to build that. So it's whatever data is garbage in, garbage out. If you put in rubbish into your AI, it's rubbish you're getting. And it is passive. It doesn't carry any of the risk. It can tell you your business is great. It can tell you all of this is, but guess what? You're going to live with the outcome of whatever decision you make, not AI. AI will not be your excuse when things go wrong and you've been given a task of managing it. AI cannot be your excuse. It's very easy to give credit to AI when things go bad, but I promise you, you cannot give the blame to AI when things go wrong. So, what I'll say, yes, AI gets you to do things faster. Check everything with human checks. 100% of the judgment still belongs to you. Research, decide with more confidence, scale on evidence, not instinct. But again, most importantly, develop the human intelligence that will accompany AI for better results in life and in business. So I think I'm good for time. So thank you so much, everyone, for having me. I've left a few minutes if we still want to talk about this a bit more. There's something that resonated with you. If you have been giving all your decision making to AI, this is your altar call to repent and to do better. And thank you so much for spending your evening with me. So this is where I end my presentation. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Please, with your favorite emoji, let us appreciate our speaker. It's been awesome. There is a lot. It's a short time, but it is power packed. So at this point, I'm going to be handing over to my co-moderator, Lucy Wokoye. She's going to be handling the question and answer session. So if you have any burning question in your heart and you need clarity, now is the time. Lucy, over to you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Amanda, I want to start with saying how lovely your voice is. I love the way you talk. So
AI
it's
could
very
not
nice.
do that.
I wish I can talk like you.
Let me give you a fun fact. So there is an AI company that trying to provide, will I say, Nigerian or African sounding voices, but they don't want it to sound like Google Maps, like the Igbo person. And someone said, "Will I spend some time recording?" So now that you've said that, maybe I would consider, but it would be a great thing to have. Yeah, thank you, Lucy.
You're welcome. So I had a lot of fun with this class, and I'm pretty sure that everybody here does too. But we'll have questions because some things we want to ask to be more sure, to be sure. So please, if you have questions, just raise up your hand. I'll give you numbers, then I call you. Chiamaka, you are number 1. Okay, Allen, you are number 2. Okay, over to you, Chiamaka.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, Ma. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this session. It was very insightful. So, I have a quick question, and my question is in terms of basically using AI to improve workflow, and in terms of scaling businesses, as you have just enlightened us. How exactly would you advise we move past the phase of totally depending solely on AI rather than using AI more like as a research partner? Because I understand the idea is to have AI as a research partner, but with the way things are right now, maybe in some cases trying to like manage time, maybe the time that you would have used to do like further research, right? AI would help to like streamline that. But then how do we actually move past that phase of solely depending on AI rather than using it as a research partner? I don't know if you'd be able to enlighten me more on that.
Going to
So that's
start my answer sounding like Florence. I'll take you to a Bible story. One thing that we were created with in this life is free will. Even when God created us and left the Garden of Eden with so many fruits and so many things, there's a tree of knowledge of good and evil, and you have free will. So, what that means is that you get to choose what is important to you and how you use your time. So, yes, you are saying we want things to be faster. Okay, so these things that are done faster so that you can do what then with the rest of your time? So that's a very important question, which is why I started by saying let's track even our online activity and what we're really spending our time doing. Everyone says how AI makes things faster. Okay, it's fast. It does what you would have done in 10 hours in 5 minutes. What are you using the rest of the 115 minutes to do? It's faster so that you can then go on to do what? So it's again free will. What is important to us is very easy to sit back, but those who are going to get recognized are not those who are going to be mediocre. You still need to pick an area where you want to develop sector or industry specific expertise. You have your AI has done your research fast. Okay, so then go on to finding out more things. When you get to develop things that you can also upload and other people can learn from. So free will, you need to decide that I want to improve myself. I want to be a person of value, and then spend time on things that would make you more valuable. That's what I would say.
All right. Thank you very much for that, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Chiamaka, I hope you're satisfied with the answer. Thank you very much, Ma, for the answer. Alan, over to you. Please ask your question.
All right. Thank you, Ma. Can you hear me, Ma?
Yes.
All right. So my question is this. Most of the times, people say that AI hallucinates. That is, AI is hallucinating. So, as an average Nigerian, how do we validate or checkmate the outputs or the results we got from most of these AI tools during research or programming or something? So, can you throw more light on that?
Okay, so speaking specifically to AI hallucination, and that happens mostly when, with the information that you're giving AI before, it starts to connect different things to contexts that are not relevant to that specific prompt or task. You will notice that the hallucination again comes from the data that you fed that AI bot with. And then there was somebody on this call, Fortune, that already talked about reviewing with two different platforms at the same time. So that's one thing. So if you've noticed that with the AI hallucinations, what comes up in a feed might be things that you talked about that relate to a separate topic. And if you are like a lot of us that are maybe searching the same topics on two, it's difficult to have AI hallucination happening twice on the same platform. So again, you should read. I know that the answers I'm giving to this thing seem very simple, but you would notice immediately if you read the output from the AI. And again, you wouldn't know if you even have no basic understanding of the thing. But for AI hallucination, it's very easy. The things that are being answered are being related to things that you supplied at a different point in time. That's how you know when the data or what the intelligence is bringing is false, because again, it's linking it to several topics that you have discussed with the AI prior to that time. So that's really what AI hallucination is. And you need to be able to checkmate. If you're talking about, now we're talking about this KodeHauz program, and creating the slides, for example, trying to make this output easy, I saw that certain things that I had discussed that were not related to this presentation came up in the slides. So again, if I don't go back to read or even spending that time to quality check my work, then I will not have noticed and I would have presented something that I'll say, oh, sorry, this is not supposed to be here. What happened to the 5-10 minutes to go over the work again? All right.
All right. Thank you, Ma.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ma. So I'll be handing over to you, Miss Echi. Okay, there's still somebody else. Barika said he has a question. Barika, please speak.
Okay. To throw more light on what the previous person asked concerning how to verify the response and to confirm to know how to solve hallucination. I think the best way to use this AI is, first of all, you need to have your own knowledge before you go to this AI. You need to have the knowledge of what you want to do, what you want to work on, so that by the time you start using your AI to do this work, to do this research, when it starts giving you responses, you should be able to have one or two things to identify. Because if you don't have any idea about what you're doing, you will not be able to point out any hallucination. So it is always best to anything you want to do on this with AI, try to make sure that you actually have your own personal knowledge. You don't depend on the AI 100%. That's why it's not a good practice to depend on AI 100%. You need to work on your own self, feed your own self with the information, then you add it with what AI has for you. Thank you. That's just what I wanted to say.
Thank you very, very much, Barika, for that solid contribution. So, in the absence of any other question, Miss Iechi, please take over.
All right, thank you very much, Lucy, and thank you to all those who asked questions, and also a big thank you to our speaker, Amanda, for doing justice to the questions. So we've come to the end of this particular session. I wish we didn't have to go, but we do because the last time I saw Amanda was 2022 or so. And I must say, she does not age at all. So, ma'am, I think the ladies here would also want to know the secret to your youthfulness. If there's a fountain that you have discovered, please hurry up
Your
along.
heart. Follow peace with all men. Please follow peace with all men for starters.
It's good to see you again.
Okay.
Last time I saw you was in I think Akwa Ibom Tech Week, and
Yeah.
I did not have the opportunity to hear you speak because you were busy with a lot of administrative and organizational planning. But hearing you speak today, I can now put the voice to the face. So thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to enlighten us, to contribute to our growth. We are grateful as a company and we are grateful as individuals. Please, with your favorite emoji, celebrate our speaker. If we were in church now, I would have said, let's raise our hands and pray. But just pray for her in your heart. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
And
you.
we hope to see you, or I want to see you in the 10th anniversary
Touchwood.
ceremony proper.
Touchwood.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm going to be saving a seat. That day I'll be your handbag. I'll follow you wherever
No
you
problem.
go.
Just bribe
It,
me
it,
with Ekpang. I'll be there.
I will ready. I will ready.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you very much. So, to take us further to closing this out, Imole, are you available to take over, or do I go ahead? Okay, I think she's still having network issues. So before we call it okay, you're here. So take over, please. Okay, I should go ahead. Okay, no problem. So before we call it a day, I would want us to hear from two very important persons in the chat. Engineer Lawrence, for 2 minutes, Lawrence, the floor.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. I actually raised my so I want to first of all appreciate Amanda. Like you said, she doesn't age. Like the same comment from you. So it actually spoke my mind. So I think she has said peace with all men. Well, I don't know how where do they sell that so I can go and buy? That's the first question. It sounded like the name of a project. Sorry, a product. So the second thing is what happened at the beginning of the call where you are asking people the topic for the previous webinar sessions. Ca- Are you sure people can remember the topic of this particular webinar?
We'll ask them in the next one.
Okay, okay. Anyway, the reason why I'm asking is that I'm someone
Ah,
that appreciates pragmatism. Is there anything that we can think of so that this wouldn't just be like a webinar session, come and go and everything? As part of the KodeHauz 10th anniversary, this is actually scaling business, right? I hope people have not lost track of that particular angle to the topic, scaling business and all that. So we might have to think about what we can do, maybe a competition or so. Maybe people can actually do one or two. I don't know yet, but I feel like topics like this should not just be let to just slide, just go like that. So we are going to think about it, and probably it might form part of what is going to, culminate at the actual event on 10th of October. So that's just my comments. So first of all, Wanda, thank you very much for making out time. KodeHauz celebrating, and I need to talk about this. We are 10 this year, and that's why we are doing 10 series. So this is the third one. It's going to continue. So make out time to join other sessions. So our event is very simple to remember. It's 10th month and the 10th day of the 10th month. All the 10, 10, 10s, like it's 10th of October. So, and there are a lot of things that we intend showcasing 10 products, AI products and everything. So I don't want to start touching on them right now, but it's supposed to be some form of a surprise. So KodeHauz, as part of celebrating, is actually, well, it's not a coincidence that our 10th anniversary is falling into the time where AI is actually. So KodeHauz is migrating to become an AI company. We have a lot of research right now. Serious research is not some of them you get to know, I'm talking about the ones that will be commercialized, not something we normally do, having fun producing technology. Right now we are intentional about some of them. So I wish we can have more people right now, part of, because Kudas equally focuses on building talent. So Janebe is going to talk about, currently we are training people on AI for developers and agentic AI in the current cohort of CodeCamp 6.0, and it's going to continue like that. So we are building an army of AI fluency. I don't know how I think Janebe will talk about there is difference between AI literacy and AI fluency. So I will leave that for him. So I think that's what I just want to mention. The webinar continues. Make out time to join us, and then if you can make it to the event, you are welcome. Thank you very much. I hand over to uh, Ikechi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. Engineer Anibet Udo, over to you, sir.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I want to say hi to Amanda. Thank you very much for the time and for coming to make this presentation for us. Yes, Amanda is our friend. When it comes to KodeHauz, those who know her know what she's capable of, right? Very soft-spoken, like Lucy observed, fine voice, nice voice. She knows how to speak. And if you see her and you look at her the way you see her, you are going to underestimate her. But Amanda has achieved a lot of things. Things that some of us are wishing that we can achieve. Maybe I'll be like her when I grow up one day. But I want to just say thank you because when I spoke to Amanda and I asked her, okay, can you make a presentation during our webinar series? And she just said, okay, tell me the date. And that's Amanda for you, basically. She's very simple. I like what she said, choose peace. And that should be a philosophy, right, of life. Maybe I'll adopt that one. But then sometimes in this country, sometimes you have to choose violence. Say, choose violence. So, well, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. So anyway, of course, we had her, profile, her citation that was read earlier, and she has achieved a lot. Messenger, CEO, and I think Amanda will soon become a venture capitalist because I've been following her, since I got to know her during the whole period when she was running the Akwa Ibom Tech Week for 2 years. And, she's now doing a whole lot of things which I would like her to still come back and share with us so that we can learn. Yes, in this part of the world, in this part of the country, like I didn't do a presentation earlier today, keynote speech at the WordPress WordCamp, the first in Naked, and the same thing that Hansen mentioned in the last presentation last week, that we are really, we are really doing well when it comes to talent development, but we are falling way behind when it comes to funding, when it comes to investment, when it comes to engagement with government and all of those other things that are required to build strong ecosystems, to build strong enterprises, right? And I know that today's discussion was more around AI and all of that, but I still want to say that that piece of it, which Amanda is doing, I really want Amanda to see how she can help and guide some of the, some of us, some of the people around, the younger ones who want to build and, build strong startups that eventually become strong companies and all of that. So thank you. Now, on the question of AI, yes, all has been said. Yes, KodeHauz, we have basically pivoted. We are not pivoting. It sounded like, Lawrence was saying we are pivoting. We are not. We have pivoted. And it's not, when we say pivoted, it's not like we stopped doing what we were doing. We are just bringing AI into it because AI is the future. And so KodeHauz has effectively become an AI company this year. And one of the things we have been doing, and that's why this webinar series, there's a lot of talk around AI, because we want to bring that whole awareness. There's a lot of hype, and I like what Amanda did when she talked about this is not the first time, right? At various times in history, we had a different new innovations, revolutionary innovations, disruptive innovations, and people were suspicious, afraid, and worried about it. But it always turned out to be better than without those innovations, and AI is one of them, right? For me, people keep, they are always worried that AI will take over the world, enslave people, turn them into batteries, like the Matrix and all of that. But my biggest concern is not really about AI doing stuff or doing things to us. It's about those who control AI, using AI on those who cannot control AI or who have no knowledge of what AI is. And the biggest, the strongest, the most powerful way to solve that is for everybody to understand how AI works. And that's why we talk about being AI fluent, like Lawrence has said, versus being AI literate. Being AI literate is just that, okay, I know about AI, I know what it means. I know it's an acronym, it means artificial intelligence. I can do this and that with it, but that's not being fluent. Being fluent is understanding how it works, understanding what's going on under the hood, even if you are not an expert or a specialist. You don't have to be an AI developer, a machine learning engineer, right? But at least you should know how it works and what it is capable of doing, what is not capable of doing. A lot of the hype and suspicion and fear of AI comes from people not understanding what is fake and what is real about AI, what AI can really do and what AI can really not do. And being able to have that understanding, we want more people to be able to have that understanding because that will help us. There is something we call hype cycle in AI. The hype cycle, AI has had like 3 or 4 hype cycles, and each of them ends up with what we call an AI winter, right? This is another hype cycle. This hype cycle started in the 90s, right? Late 90s, early 2000s, and it's still sustaining and still building up. The good news, though, is that this time around, a lot of the expectations are being met and surpassed. But there's this one big one that people are putting out there. AGI, artificial general intelligence, and all of that. So, but we'll see how that goes. So, thank you, Amanda, once again, and it was very good to have you, to see you again, and to hear your voice as you speak to us. And I hope we'll see you on the 10th of October when we're actually going to gather and do the 10th anniversary. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Engineer Nabeth, and thank you also, Engineer Lawrence. So, we're going to be doing a slight competition. So, our next webinar, which is for next week, Saturday, is titled Financial Planning for Techies. So, techies in the house, yes, you are in tech, yes, you are paid, whether in Naira or in dollars or any other currency. What exactly are you doing with your money, the money that you earn? How are you planning it? So our next speaker is going to be focused on the financial aspect of tech, right? So the competition is guess the speaker. So if you are able to guess the speaker, then there is a prize. Somebody said Zimbabwean dollar. Tibenabu, may the Lord forgive you. So that is it. Guess the speaker. And for anybody that gets it, you have a prize come Saturday next week. Also, Imole, please put up the Holiday Tech Camp banner so that we see it. So just as I said earlier during the introduction, also as part of the KodeHauz 10 year anniversary, we also have a free Holiday Tech Camp. You can join on site and you can also join online. So if you have family members, friends, neighbors, please let their children register. It is from the ages of 7 to 17. Every other information you want regarding that will be sent to your mail. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a jolly ride. And someone said, I guess it's someone on the call. Sorry to bust your bubble. The person is not on the call. This competition is going to be interesting. So see you same time. Bring your friends. We are talking about money, and that is something that makes the world go round. So bring your friends, bring your enemies, bring your colleagues, invite your village people. It is very, very necessary because I feel that when everybody is financially okay, we will stop having the unnecessary envy and jealousy and backbiting. So invite your friends, your families, your neighbors, your church people. Let's learn how to manage and plan this money that we are working so hard to get. I remain Ihe Chom, Bisiolu, and also Lucy Okoye. Thank you very much for standing in. And everybody, thank you very much. We appreciate you and we do not take you for granted. So see you same time, same link next week, Saturday. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Please, ma'am, I have a question, ma'am.
For who? For me or for the speaker or for my boss?
Yeah, maybe you, ma'am. So is it possible for us to get a record of the training slide, ma'am, for today's
Yes,
training?
the recording is going to be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So yes, you would get it. Yes,
All
you
right,
can
all
access
right,
the.
all right. Thank you, ma'am.
Make sure you're following us on all socials. Make sure you're following us on all socials because that's the only way that you can get it.
All
Tibenabu,
right.
you're saying how can you get it? Yeah, you will see, don't worry. Thank you very much. So we're going to be leaving you with the 10-year anniversary song 10 over 10 composed by engineer Lawrence Akubwe. So before you drop off, just enjoy the musical prowess of my boss. Bye, everyone. Mola, are you playing the song?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so then yes, oh, yeah. Oh, that's so then yes, oh,
Okay, it's like network is against us. But don't worry. You're going to be hearing the song in the next webinar. So if we can't hear it today, we're going to be hearing it. In fact, it's going to be playing all through the webinar series. So you want to listen to the song, make sure you join on time. The song starts playing at 8:45 or 6:45. So when you log in then, you can hear it. Thank you, everyone, and see you next week, Saturday.
Global standard now the proof. Standard now the proof. Now impact be the final proof. Impact be the final proof. Second engineering. Build up story. From the grind to the glory. Every win is glory. Every star now our testimony. Discipline makes me start and then you still get command. I'm the future, we have sent KodeHauz forever. 10/10, 10/10, no stress, no stress. From day one to the level we take. I sent KodeHauz forever. 10/10. Brother, still the prayer. Not today you free start, tomorrow world go celebrate. From learning to earning, from nothing to becoming. 10 years not just the beginning. Next level they loading. Oh da 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 da. Yeah. 10 years strong, still moving on. Hold out there, the future don't come. No retreat, no pretend. Now I'm forever. 10/10. Oh yeah, yeah. Hold out. 10 years no be finished. Oh. From small room we start this matter. No big money, na vision gather. Night to morning, code is starting. Failure come, but we climb am ladder. They no believe, them they doubt. But we know what we they about. Train the youth, bring talent out. Now the whole world they call our route. No shortcut, na process. Every step na progress. From struggle to success. Now the results that they confess. People in us, we stand for it. Every lesson we collect. No regret. See the future we connect. And over them, no stress, no pain. From day one to the level we take. And on the future we are sent. KodeHauz forever. 10/10, 10/10, no stress, no pain. From day one to the level we take. And on the future we are sent. KodeHauz forever. 10/10, Standard not the rule. Skills and knowledge we they prove. Now impact be the final proof. Children learn, youth transform from confusion to perform. Tech and engineering reform. We they build them long term strong. No be hype, no real life story. From the every sky now our testimony. Them see the shine, them marks the plan. Now discipline, make we stand. 10 years, still get command. Future the way. Brother, still the prayer. That today you feel start. Tomorrow world go celebrate. From learning to earning, from nothing to becoming. Then yet not just the beginning. Next level the loading. Oh da 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 da. Yeah. 10 years strong, still moving on. Hold out there, yeah, the future don't come. No retreat, no pretend. Now I'm forever. 10 over 10.